Welcome to the loop.
Welcome to The Loop. It's a talk show about video games where we don't give a duck anymore. My name's Eric, and as always, I'm joined by Kyle.
Hello.
And Jeremy.
Here's a duck.
And Trevor.
Get that duck out of my face.
Trevor's here. Nathan Kuipers is here, too.
Whoa. That's not his name.
Second.
His name is Kuipers.
I said it.
His name is Kuipers.
Hi, Kuipers. How's it going?
Hey.
You twisting them ninnies well?
Yeah.
You beyond that. Hard core style. He's a producer who's
Extraordinaire.
also
A seducer.
A juicer?
I was going to say dancer, but yeah, he does seduce with dances.
Producer.
That's not a lot to rhyme with.
Kuipers.
Producer, juicer, seducer. That could make a story.
I don't think
Meducer.
juicer rhymes with producer.
Wait,
Kind of does.
I suppose if you're British, yeah, you could say Meducer. Yeah.
Did I just get a double promotion to being Nathan Kuipers and producer and not intern?
Shut up, intern.
Did you
Merry Christmas early, Kuipers!
Oh, boy.
Just kidding.
Eric did not consult the rest of the tub on these changes.
I don't have to because Jeremy said I'm the host.
That is true. You are the host.
not true.
Host and CEO
You are the host,
of
though.
Tub
Now you're
Enterprises.
making yourself the CEO.
All hail glorious host.
Wow.
Jeremy said
I
it's
mean,
fine.
We have a board of directors. We don't even have a CEO.
I'm the CEO.
that is true. We have a board of directors.
Casting
Yeah, it's Kuipers.
every.
Okay.
You take the
Okay.
minutes. You take the minutes.
Everybody's grabbing
Someone
towers now.
kick Kuipers out of the studio. He's trying to take CEO control. Not
No,
cool, man.
I'm taking board control, not
Not
CEO
cool.
control.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
out of
that
here.
board control leads to CEO control.
Sometimes I thought you were.
You can vote the CEO out.
I'm not even a Trekkie fan, and I thought you said Borg control.
Borg.
Well, resistance
the
is
Borg.
futile.
That's right. That's the way.
He likes it.
It's a lovely time to be on the internet and talking about video games because there's video games to be played.
There are games to be played.
We got a lot to talk about tonight, but let's first, like always, not hesitate. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into what everybody's been,
Let's just jump into it.
button mashing. Oh, we've been playing a lot of video games because they're cool now. They weren't cool before, but
Nope.
Not at all.
now Drake said they're cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
No.
Unless they have guns in them, right? Because that's like creating.
No, then they're extra
youth
cool.
Culture.
What
youth-
cool games have you bros been rocking lately? Are your thumbs sore?
No.
Yes, but I have arthritis.
Are your hands covered in
Don't admit
Cheeto
to that.
dust? Did you pee your bed from too much Mountain Dew, bro?
You know it.
Not. No,
I mean,
Ew.
you got the Mountain Dew at least.
I didn't sleep. because I
Sometimes-
was playing too many
Yeah,
games.
that's not pee. That's just Mountain Dew.
Sometimes I drink too much gamer fuel and then I tinkle my bed sheets. Bro.
If I went to bed, that is.
Wow.
Uh,
All the things.
It feels a little uncomfortable with how real you're getting here, Eric. This is your real life, isn't
Oh, man. My mom covered all the furniture in plastic because I don't got time to go to the bathroom because I'm a gamer. Oh, gamers for life.
it? He sounds like he really hates video games right now, and that's furthest from the truth.
Is it?
But he really does sound like he hates video games
Maybe
right
he's
now.
getting
There's
tired of
multiple
them.
layers of irony.
I don't sound like I hate video games.
Maybe
No, I
Eric
mean,
is starting to get tired of
No,
games.
it sounds-
There's
it
a
sounds like one of
subconscious
those-
ageism happening.
I hate that the idea. That's what I think. Like a lot of people's perception of gamer is.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why when people ask me, "Are you a gamer?" I go, "Are you a driver? Are you a oxygen?
Do you like the NFL?
breathe? Are you a footballer?" like
that's gonna be my
like,
response.
I just
in the
it's
future.
there's so much like I play video games, but like don't call me a
There you
gamer
go.
because I'm gonna be like classified with the guy who only lives on Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Right. I only said that because that was
Doesn't
exactly
sound
what
bad.
it sounded like. Somebody that's making fun of people that play video games.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it sounded like
I don't
somebody
know
that's-
anyone who makes fun of people who play video games.
Me neither.
Kyle, what kind of people
You've
are you
never-
socializing with?
Yeah.
when
What
you
kind of
hang out
people
with
are you
those
not
people?
socializing with? Like parents,
Obviously idiots.
parents,
Gamer.
other adults.
I am a parent. I am an adult.
Other adults.
Jeremy made babies. Ha! You got laid. High five, bro. Gamers for life.
I don't like that high five happened
Proof
right
it
over my
happened
head.
twice.
Oh man, I just
Well,
hate
you didn't have the baby, Jeremy. So
No, but for real, what has everyone been playing? I mean, I would. There's some things. Let's see. Let's try to talk about the individual games first. So if you've been playing something that not everyone has been playing, let's go through those first to give them some time to breathe. And then like I know like Smash, and I don't know if we're going to talk a little bit about Just Cause.
Oh, yeah, that
I
came
know.
out too.
Can we talk
still
about how
haven't
I feel
played
like
that.
I'm wasting my time playing it, but I'm still doing it?
Oh, I know, right?
Right?
It's so
I'm like, I don't like this,
It's not-
but I like blowing things up.
It's not fun and the missions suck, but the tethering and the balloons are the best part.
Yeah.
Like I want a game
Yeah.
of just like shooting
And
those things.
Is
at
it weird
things.
that I would rather just keep like my wingsuit out and tethering to fly as far as
Oh,
I
the
can
grapple? Yeah.
until I find a tornado and then just fly forever in the
I've
tornado?
played that game 11 hours and I haven't found a tornado
Are you
yet.
kidding me? They're all over the place.
Where? I've gone all over the map. I haven't found one tornado.
I have a free falling record that's like 350,000 kilometers. Or
What does that
something,
have to do with the
because I was
tornado?
stuck in a tornado.
Okay, thank
and the
you.
free falling, it's falling without ever hitting the ground.
right.
But it was because I was in the tornado. It kept picking it back up, and I was just like, "This is fun," and it's destroying buildings down there.
That is fun.
I have not started it yet, but that was kind of how I felt with the third one. Was like I'm not really necessarily enjoying the game itself, but
no, that's
the,
Red Dead you're thinking.
I will say
No,
that
no. I'm enjoying that game. It was but I mean, like you guys are talking about the grappling and like
Oh, but Kyle, we're talking about.
I will
Just
say
Cause
the
4.
vehicles are
I know.
actually. I will say
That
the
looks
vehicles
shinier.
are actually pretty good. Like the motorcycles and the control of the vehicles and the differences between sports cars and trucks and stuff like that.
Trucks.
But
Truck.
nobody wants to drive a vehicle when you can just fly twice as fast with your
Truth.
wingsuit.
I think that's what
Just
Kyle
saying.
said last week, but that's
Yeah.
again
I
a good
did
point.
say that last week.
That's a good
I
point.
didn't listen to you.
You
I
were
know.
here.
You never listen to me, Jeremy,
Uh-huh.
and you always forget
was that,
things.
Kyle?
No, I really wish that game was better than it is, but it's like it's more of the same, and it has balloons now. So
Yeah.
balloons make
Full,
it fun.
full.
So you fault me.
Have you been playing it, Trevor, at all, or not?
I haven't picked it up.
Okay.
I probably won't pick it up for.
Yeah,
Smart.
save your money.
Save
your money.
Save your time.
I've been trying to be actually smart about buying games because I've been
Wait for a
really.
sale.
I've been notoriously not smart about it, so I have changed my stripes.
Yeah. What have you been playing? Anything other than? I mean, you still in the Red Dead? Or are you kind of done with that? Or?
I haven't played it too much. I played it a little bit because they gave. I don't know if you guys saw this or I don't know. I didn't actually see it. Somebody told me about it, but they gave people who played online, like the first week or whatever, a bunch of money and gold.
Ooh.
So that means
so-
is it waiting for me because I did
Yes,
play the
it should
first
be
week.
waiting for you.
Yeah.
So.
I
Cool.
didn't.
I think they give you like 10 gold. I want to say maybe a little
Is
more.
that
I
their
can't
apology for how bad it is to
Kind of.
get
It's-
money?
They also bounced it out. I think everything's 40% cheaper or something too.
Yeah, that economy was
So-
kind of busted.
Yeah, it was a little too grindy. I've actually been playing not too much of, but I played a decent amount of Ashen, which was a game I was really excited about.
Kyle and I are looking that up.
And it's
No,
a lot
he
like
doesn't tell me about the games that he's excited about until
well,
we're sitting here.
I've actually, and this is kind of funny. I've had 2 games surprise me, like very quickly. I was excited about this one, and
It's
I
an
didn't even know
Epic's
it was.
game, huh?
I don't think it's. I
okay,
can't.
Because
that-
it's on their
yeah,
store.
We'll yeah, we can kind of get into that
Yeah.
too in the news or more when we get into that, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, we can talk about
Yeah.
it now, but go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, there was 2 games I was really excited about. This one, and I didn't. Yeah, it just came out suddenly. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. And then X4 Revelations, or something like that, which is a space game for the PC. And they just came out, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this? But
Well, because the Ashen thing is weird because it was in Steam with like a release date, and now it says TBA in Steam.
oh really?
But it's
and it came out on
PS4
X
and Xbox.
Well, no, it's not on PS4 either. It's just Xbox and Epic.
Epic Games.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think Epic, because when they launched the store, I think there's some hustle there to lock this in as an exclusive for their store.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so who knows when it'll come to Steam?
I didn't actually buy it though, but it's kind of interesting because it's part of the Xbox Game Pass, which
Yeah.
I still have.
Oh, then I'll play it.
So yeah, go ahead. I would say it's probably worth a try. I will say there are a couple things that kind of shocked and disappointed me. The performance is kind of awful
On Xbox?
on Xbox.
You're
Okay,
making
I'm
me
playing
not
on
wanna play
I'm
it
playing on
now.
a One X and it's really good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's awful on my.
Did you change it to 1080p mode though?
Did I have to? It should
Okay, so it's
automatically.
weird. No, if in this game, for some reason, if you go into the settings of the game, there's a graphics thing, and you go in there, and then there's a way you turn it to 1080p mode, and then it unless it's all on by default, it was off
Yeah.
when I switched to it, and so I
I w-
turned it on, and it kind of like dumbed down the graphics just a hair.
Okay.
But it would make it run smoother. But on the X, it runs fine, like on the full whatever
Yeah,
that off. But I don't know what that does. I really don't know what that.
I mean, it
I
could
wonder
be.
if
I don't
that's
know.
because they developed for PC first, and
Could be. I didn't.
and the way they
So is it mainly
the
like
way
your
they coded for
frame
different
rate?
graphics. Maybe.
I won't. It's not awful. I guess I exaggerate there, but it's way worse than I would have expected it to be.
Like
'cause
frame
it's-
rate wise though?
Yeah, it like has these pretty consistent stutters.
Oh, weird.
I'll just run into something and it's just like, it's just. I was like, especially with a game that seems to have made some sacrifices. I mean, obviously it's a style. I don't want to say sacrifices because it's a style, and it's a very pretty style. They do a great job with it. However, it's a style that suits itself well to very good performance.
Well, you'd think, but maybe
You'd think.
maybe whatever it's doing to render that stuff.
Yeah.
Is, I don't know. I have
don't
I have a cool mustache though, and I like it.
Yeah, no, it's very
do have a
interesting.
cool
I think it's worth
mustache.
trying
Not
out.
in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I wish it
it
controlled
looks a little like
better.
Breath of the Wildy in its art style, a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
It's much more like simplistic though. Like
Yeah,
there's no
it's-
facial
yeah,
features
that's-
and
okay.
like
it's more. Yeah, I tell you one thing though that drives me nuts, and this is a trend I've seen. Okay, not a trend, but I've seen it in a couple games, and it drives me nuts when I see it. The character has tiny feet. It bothers me. Why?
Trevor hates
proportions-
people with small feet.
The proportion? No, they're minuscule. They're not just small. They're tiny. It's like your character's like walking on needles.
why is this bothering you?
It just bothers me because, well,
I mean, it's
partially
a little
because
weird.
the proportions aren't that weird for everything else. I mean, the head's a little bit taller or something. Maybe things are slightly exaggerated, but the feet are just tiny,
That's funny.
and it bothers me. But
Bothered with Trevor.
I don't know. It's just something that gets to
This is
me.
new podcast.
Tiny feet.
No,
It-
A
So-
lot of views if that was the name of
So
your
I mean,
podcast.
if you aren't
Just
familiar with the
saying.
Ashen at all, I mean, it's kind of like it's very much a Soulsian type inspired game. So it's like Dark Souls or
Yeah.
any of those types of things. But it seems to take the RPG thing much more into I guess consideration, because there's a lot of like,
Yeah.
hey, here's a waypoint to go do this thing. There's a quest log. There's stuff like that. So he found
Did
this
you
one.
pick
Tiny
out
feet
that one
picture.
just for me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Tiny feet.
Thank you.
I didn't notice that.
Oh,
until
it's
you pointed
awful.
that out. That's so.
I didn't
funny.
notice it at first, and then it drove me
Just
nuts.
accept it, Trevor.
It's awful.
They're
so
people that live
stupid
with tiny feet. Who cares?
Not that small. Nobody would stand up if they had that small of
He's
feet.
standing up right there, Trevor.
It's an all illusion.
Goodness.
But yeah, you do have like waypoints and quest logs and stuff where you don't have that in normal, like in a Souls game. It's kind of just like, hey, you got to figure out what you're doing on your own.
Yeah, they definitely give you a little bit more help than the notoriously not helpful Souls games.
I haven't played very much. But how long have you played? Quite a bit, or are you?
I
Kinda...
mean, like a couple hours, I would
okay.
say.
So yeah, you've played more than I have. I
Okay.
kind of fired it up and just got through the main
Yeah.
the beginning part.
And got himself a mustache.
It's. I mean, I like what it's doing. It's pretty cool. I feel like some of the things, like some of the animations, would make me think it's actually made by the same people. Like it's a Dark Souls game, except done differently. Because like
That's just how much they like Dark
some of
Souls.
the animations are like just almost identical.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I
I
don't know.
think that has to do with like because Dark Souls is very much. I mean, kind of the way Smash Brothers is very.
Iconic.
Well, no, like driven, like the way the gameplay works. It's based on the frame rate a lot. So like.
Yeah.
So like Dark Souls is very much like, hey, this character, the roll is so many frames, and this is so many frames. Do you think that has anything to do with the way the animation looks similar,
It could
or
be,
is
yeah.
it just that they really like Dark Souls and they mimic the style?
I mean, it could be a little bit of both. I
Yeah.
just like I don't know. Sometimes the way the characters like hit things or block or just roll or anything,
Oh.
it just looks really similar. Which I think also, kind of, for me, it kind of bothers me because it doesn't feel as good as a Dark Souls game, and so that kind of drives me nuts.
Hey, the people in the beginning that have like bags on their backs and their backs are turned to you,
Yeah.
are they enemies?
No. I
They're backpackers.
don't know for sure.
Okay, because I just like all my Dark Souls experience is just kill everything that's around, and so I just
Yeah.
went through murdering them, and I got to
Wait,
thinking,
you didn't kill him?
Oh yeah, I killed all of them because I was
funny.
scared.
Leave
I didn't,
nothing
I
alive.
didn't know what they were, and I was like, man, they're not putting up much of a fight, and so I got to thinking like maybe they're like something important, and I wasn't supposed to kill them. I don't know.
I think some of them you can trade with. They don't seem to
No.
have any valuable items so far.
Well,
I'm
now
not very
they
far.
have nothing.
They're dead.
They're all
They're
gone.
There's going to be a lot more of them, so probably don't kill them though. But they're also mixed in with bad guys, which is so confusing because I'm just like, oh, there's all these weird, creepy people looking at me.
Yeah.
I hope they don't attack me. Ah! So yeah, but one thing I will say I really like about this that Dark Souls doesn't do, it doesn't feel as restrictive. Like you can actually like climb on stuff, and it just kind of, for me, that just makes the world feel much more alive. And
Yeah.
not just like a weird corridor.
Well, it's just like the Dark
So-
Souls uses that so much to just like gate you off from the next area. It's like
Yeah,
kind of frustrating. So
yeah, and they don't do that at all here. You can climb on anything, and I felt like I've gotten to a couple areas where I'm just like, I don't know why I'm supposed to be here. But they have some kind of nice little hidden areas too. So yeah, it's interesting. I have run into a little bit. The co-op things kind of, I guess I think there's co-op, but you also kind of have an AI companion that kind of follows you around, which seems kind of interesting because it makes it feel less awful sometimes. But I've also had a lot of weird issues with the AI companions because they'll just like disappear. I'll just be walking and I'm just like, where'd my companion go? And then I'll fall down
Probably
dead.
stuck behind a rock.
Yeah, probably. Well, and then sometimes it'll be like, so and so is calling you. And then I'll go rush to them because I'm thinking they're going to die. And they're just standing there. It's like, what did you need? But no, I don't mean to talk too bad about it. It seems very interesting. I like the art style. It's really cool. It's kind of doing some kind of.
now it has
Interesting stuff.
multiplayer too, right? Now, do you know
think
what that
so.
is? That the guy? Like, it's not like. Is it doing like the journey thing where they're just kind of loading into your game and you don't know that? Like they're sometimes around you helping you, or
That-
are those all AI?
I think they're AI. It kind of sounded like it was doing it, so it's
Okay.
possible. Maybe that's why my characters keep disappearing. Maybe it's kind of
Like they're just spawning into your world or something?
yeah.
I don't know. I would like to look it up, but I also kind of want to play through it more and just experience the
Yeah.
game. And then like because that was the whole appeal of Journey is like finding out later that was another
like, oh,
player.
cool.
Like that
Yeah.
was a really cool moment.
I think it would be harder to do with this kind of game, though. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't. That was.
I think Kyle was saying.
I just said, huh.
He was.
Oh, you were just.
I
listening.
didn't.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
actually realize.
Enamored.
Kyle's feigning interest.
No, I didn't even. No, what I was. I didn't realize that Journey had that set up in it when I played through
I
it.
mean, that's the magic of Journey.
Yeah.
I never.
I
played
mean, it
Journey
is.
either,
I mean,
actually.
that's really what it is.
Never went
Like
on that journey.
that person that joins you a little ways into the game is another player, and that's like.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Huh.
That's like what the whole, because like nobody knew that, and then you finish the game and people start talking
"Wait a
about it,
second."
and it's like, yeah, that's just like another human that came up alongside you and started like going through the journey with you, which is really really cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
speaking
Did
of
they know that they were a second character?
no, you need, it's just the game puts you together. Like you don't know it, and it's
With
just
a
like,
random person?
Seamlessly
Yeah.
match makes you with somebody.
yeah, it's like it's actually nice because
What if they quit the game?
then they go away.
And it'll probably match you up with somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But speaking of Game Pass, I did want to mention another Game Pass game that just came out, and it's only like both of these games came out like right around the Game Awards. Mutant Year
Oh yeah, that's
Zero.
right. That was
I've been playing a bunch of this,
yeah.
and it is really, really good. It answers
Cool,
two
nice.
questions. What if XCOM was fun?
Okay.
Oh, that's a really good
Thank
question to
heavens.
answer.
And the other one is, what if Mario versus Mario and Rabbids was not so cute?
Okay.
So,
You've
like,
got me interested.
Yeah, you know.
And they have regular size feet.
Yes.
Yes, thank heavens.
That's a duck. Those aren't feet.
So I
They still are.
when I
feet.
saw this, like you look at this, the art style.
They're
When I was
webbed
first
feet.
like kind of turned off by this because I was just like, it looks kind of weird to me. Like I
Yeah.
just my initial reaction was like, this is just looks cheesy.
Yeah.
But the way that they handle, for one, like the lore of the game, and also the writing of the game is actually, just for a game that kind of came out of left field for me, it's really well done. Like the
So what's the premise?
okay,
What's
so it's pretty much
background here.
it's pretty much like a kind of in a way a post-apocalyptic game, but these mutants, like, okay, so the humans have done terrible things, right? They've started wars and set off nukes and pretty much killed each other. There's still humans left, but they're like the bad guys pretty much in this game now because
Okay.
these animals have mutated into pretty much like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle people. Like, kind of
I
that,
love
like,
it. Yeah.
kind
That-
of like, hey, we're live. We're like
Isn't
talking.
that boar actually on Teenage Mutant Ninja
No, maybe
Turtles?
that's
No.
yeah, it's Bebop.
Anyway.
Or Rocksteady, I mean. But so the animal race, they're called the mutants, and then there's I think scavengers or something like that are the humans, and there's this place called the Ark where most of the animals, a lot of the animals live, and the Ark, right? It's funny. Anyways, but it's and then they have like a leader who's human. But you kind of go out on quests and stuff to try to like collect resources and different things like that. And so it's very much like in the vein of the XCOM or Mario and Rabbids, like that.
But it's
a
not
turn-based.
cutesy.
It's a turn-based tactical shooter. It's not, but it's like it's very teen like rated. Like the duck will say what the duck instead of like dropping the F word, and so it's just. Some of that stuff is funny. The writing's funny. The way that they banter between each other
I'm gonna
is
check this out.
is kind of snarky or whatever. But then the
What was this
turn-based
called again?
Mutant Year Zero. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say.
Year Zero.
But it's very much like that turn-based strategy type game where you come up on other enemies and you kind of plot out where you're going to go, and you can set them in different locations. You have different weapons, and it's cool because you go to the Ark and then you can use your scrap and different things like that to upgrade your weapons. You find scopes and different things like that to add on to your guns. It's really, really well done. I was having a lot of fun with it. So, because I love the premise of XCOM, but just the dice rolls and everything of it are so punishing.
It's there's some of the enemy types are just so unfair. The first time I ran into that stupid ones that like can mind control your people, I was like, that's it, I'm done. This is stupid. I
Yeah.
can't beat this.
Well, and I think with this too, what's cool, there was just like a moment tonight where like I played through a scenario and I failed it, and so I restarted it, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't realize that 3 enemies were going to show up behind me. And so I'm like, I'm going to think, now I know this. So I move one of my, I'm at the point where I only have 2. I think you can get more playable characters in your party. But I moved one kind of flanked around this other building, and then you've got these other ones behind you that show up, and I knew it at that point. And so I had my pig dude just throw a grenade in the middle of them. And they just it killed all 3 of them. And it was like, okay, that was really satisfying. It's what you wanted it to do. It wasn't like that RPG thing of like, oh, okay, it just damaged them a little bit. Like the grenade took them all out. It landed in the middle and killed them all. And so it's just that sort of thing where it's like that's really fun to me. I don't you know, I don't know. It's just the way they made it. It's simplistic enough that you can jump in and play, and it's free if you have Game Pass.
Yeah, this is another game that I was just like, I should buy that, and it was on Game Pass, and I was like, yes, I don't have to buy it.
I'm really impressed with the newer games that they're. I mean, there were these indie titles, but still, like that's really
They're
cool.
good ones though, yeah.
Because honestly, when I looked at this game, I was like, I don't know what I think about it, and I wouldn't have paid whatever $20-$30 it is. I just wouldn't have bought it, and since it was free on Game Pass, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to mention is
You guys are really trying to sell me on the Game Pass in the new year.
I just clicked
great.
install on Xbox One free with Game Pass.
Yep, there you go.
So,
Boom.
from my phone.
Magique.
There's Jeremy's
so it'll
hot
be
tip
waiting for me.
for the day.
Yeah, that app is nice.
I forget things, so this helps me a
Yeah,
lot.
and then it'll be there. Fortnite Season 7 came out. I know not a lot of Fortnite players here, but I do want to mention the new creative mode that's in that game.
Yeah,
is
that's cool.
Really, really cool. I spent a bunch of time playing around with that, and it's available to everyone on Friday. It's like if you buy the Battle Pass, you got it a week early or whatever. But it's not to be confused with Playground mode, because Playground mode was like, okay, here's 2 hours, just go on the island and do whatever. Where creative mode is you load into it and there's 4 smaller islands that you can choose from, and you get access to all the resources in the game. You can spawn different buildings and things like that. And then
So like the pay for it side of the game.
well, kind of, but not really.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
more
okay.
Because the pay for stuff is still like normal Fortnite, where you're building wood, brick,
this
metal.
is just it's available to
This
you.
is like kind of like Minecraft
Level
creative
building?
mode in a way.
Okay, like you get to design a level
Anything
design
you want.
kind
Like
of thing.
I mean, you could just screw around and make a golf court track or some golf cart track or something and race each other. Or
Oh, that's
you
kind of cool.
You can do whatever, and they give you access.
And can you have multiple players online?
Yeah, I think you can have 4 people
Okay,
join
so
you.
your group.
And then, and you can like, but you get access to all the materials. So like everything you see in the game, whether it's like buildings that you can't normally use, and like when you're building like your
that's cool.
your wood or whatever. But yeah, you get to craft all that stuff. They added airplanes, which seems ridiculous, but they're awesome because they're very cartoonish in the way they react to the environment. So they don't just blow up immediately if they come in contact with something. They kind of bounce around a little bit, and they're still cartoony like the game is. So they're very fun to play. And like as this picture shows, you and your whole like squad can be
get
on the plane. Like they can hang out on the wings. You can be upside down, and they're just standing on the wings. And, like,
something on the way.
and it's just one of those things where like now the game, it's weird because you'll be playing on the ground like normal, and there's just dogfighting happening above you, and it's just such a cool like, okay, this wasn't here like a few days ago, and now it is, and it's just like
That's interesting. I'm interested to play it now.
yeah, the way they just keep progressing this game, and they're pretty fearless in doing things that people might be opposed to. Like they're just like, let's put planes.
Well,
in
the thing
it,
is,
and,
they
like,
can pull it back out next season.
or tomorrow.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's the beauty of what they've done is that there are things that have been pulled back. So, I mean, if you're playing for the specific season, there's things that aren't going to be there once the next season rolls around because it's. I think it's fantastic, and it's a great way to keep people engaged because if you want to play something new or you're getting bored with some of the things that are going on, they're giving you new things and pulling things back, which it seems like they've found an almost perfect balance so far.
Yeah, that's one of the things again that obviously I play PUBG more than I play Fortnite, but one of the things that I like about Fortnite is the fact that there's substantial changes every season to the map, and not just to the map, but to how you play the game. I mean, when they added those things you like ate that made you bounce, or stuff like that, right? Like, it changed some portions of the game style. It gave it like this. It gives it this feels fresh type
Sure.
of thing. Whereas with PUBG, they don't have that. So
Hey, they added snowmobiles. You said
they did, yeah. So they've got their snow map. It's on the test server right now. It should be out.
Ooh.
Probably I don't know if it's this week or next week in production, but on the prod servers. But the snow map's actually really cool. I really like it.
I like
it
how
even looks better. Like the textures seem sharper. You can throw snowballs.
That's awesome.
And they actually leave splatter marks.
And I heard you can like track people by their
You
footprints.
can, yeah.
Ooh,
And
that's
same thing,
cool.
vehicle
Yeah.
prints. So
Yeah.
if there's snow,
Nice.
because like probably 3/4 of the map is snow covered, and then there's parts that aren't, and they're just like grassy kind of fields areas. But yeah, so if you're in a vehicle and you go across the field, your tracks stay there. Or if you're running across an open field going to another group of buildings and someone's tracking you, they can like see exactly where you're going or see your footprints in their scope and then go, oh, they're in that building, that kind of thing.
That's
Huh.
really cool. Adds such another layer of.
And the map has a
tactics.
significant, like the other 3 maps, they all kind of used the same buildings, just in a different format. Maybe 1 or 2 new buildings on each map that's dedicated to that map, but a lot of the same vehicles. Whereas this one, it's obviously got a dedicated vehicle that's only on that map, but every single building in there is different from the other maps, and so there's a
so
fresh
it's not like
feeling
that
to it.
cookie cutter. Or this.
Yeah, it's not.
reused resources.
And there's a huge number of diversity in the maps. So some of the buildings are kind of complicated to get through. There's a castle on an island in the middle of the map that's kind of fun to go
really
through,
cool.
and it's like half like it looks like it was in a war zone. It's like half broken down in certain spots, but. Yeah, I mean, if you're interested, give it a shot. I've been
Yeah, I might
enjoying
wanna
the new
try it.
map. They're still trying to. I mean, it's in test, so right now they're still trying to work on the right amount of loot on the ground and things like that.
Yeah.
But,
And it's
anyway,
it's kind of
it's
this.
freshening it up again too.
And it's kind of in between the size of the first map and the desert map,
Yeah,
right? Kind of little bit smaller than the desert map. But.
It's definitely smaller than desert map. Keep in mind that it's an island, so it's more like the 1st
Aren't
map.
they all
from that-
islands?
Well, the desert map is not an island.
Oh,
It
okay.
has water on two sides and then
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
cliffs on the other. But it feels slightly larger than the previous new map, the Sandhawk map,
Okay.
which was a really small map. But there's plenty of like you can drop anywhere on the map and you're gonna find stuff basically because there's buildings everywhere. So it's really unique. There's like a lumber yard and there's these silos and there's a lot of verticality in some of the spots where they've got huge towers that are like 15 stories, whereas everything else is like 4 or 5 stories at most. So there's some unique pieces associated with that. So, anyway,
That's cool. I'm gonna check it out. It's only on a test server now.
it's on
though,
test server right now. It came out end of last week on the test server, so it is supposed to be out, I believe, before end of year. So
If before we move on to anything, I just wanted a quick mention because somebody brought up Beyond Good. Jolliver brought up Beyond Good and Evil, and just by happenstance, they came out with a new update this week, and boy, that game looks ambitious.
Oh, they came out with the update for the game. At like what's?
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of a dev diary. There's a full hour live stream. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had time to.
It sounded
But it's-
crazy at the last E3 though. Like the
It's-
stuff they were
yeah.
promising, I'm just like, what? This can't be like a thing. Like, how are you?
Yeah, and they discuss a lot of that stuff, and it still looks pretty darn ambitious. I mean, they don't. I mean, it. I don't know. It's cool to see like somebody like Ubisoft investing in something like this, just because.
Yeah.
Part of the, I mean, not to bring up Star Citizen again, but part of my excitement of Star Citizen is the pushing of the technology, the crazy things it's trying to do.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't accomplish everything it's set out to do.
Well, and this is supposed to have like
Yeah.
interplanetary travel and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that.
Right.
So
They've
it's
got like a
that's-
full star system with like 10 planets or something that are like fully explorable. So,
Cool.
yeah, it looks really cool. It from the little I saw, it was like a 5-minute video. I think IGN had something, so I just watched
Oh, I
that.
totally missed that. That's crazy.
I
Yeah, need to check it out.
I wouldn't have seen it except for that, but yeah. So
Yeah, it looks like it was a 25-minute gameplay or something.
Oh, I thought they said an hour. Oh well, 25 is still good, but
Yeah. I
yeah,
need to
it
check
looks
that out.
it looks
So it's
cool.
supposed to be actual gameplay then. Huh?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
25 minutes of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Ooh.
And like some of it
When's
looks
that
like
release?
That's. I don't think they've even.
They haven't
announced
announced
No,
anything.
Wow, and they already got that much gameplay to show.
well, I mean it's very early and it does look a little like it could need some polish, but
looks
it
early.
looks cool though. It
Yeah.
looks like there's a
potential.
foundation that looks like
Okay,
it
this-
could be a
This
lot of
one
fun, so-
headline says it's the Ubisoft's biggest game yet. It's like No Man's Sky and Grand Theft Auto morphed into a diverse sci-fi package.
Yep, that's how.
That sentence
how I
alone
describe
That
it.
sounds
should sell
fantastic.
most of us.
I mean, and just
If
the
it
footage looks really
capitalizes.
impressive. So yeah, I'd say go watch some of that stuff. Not now, obviously.
I mean, now did you watch the whole video or?
I didn't watch the whole video. I just watched like a 5-minute thing
Oh,
that just
okay.
kind of. I think it was
that-
a shorter version of what they put out.
Could you
full
tell
length.
like where was the cursing monkey ratio still
Oh.
pretty high?
I mean, none of it was story based. It
okay,
was all
okay.
just a dev diary.
that first
so, yeah.
trailer was. Ugh.
Oh, there
Oh,
is
yeah.
there is one
Awful.
that's out there that does look like it's about an hour. So,
okay.
Oh, okay.
but there were different ones. It looks like there was
Yeah.
25 minutes that's out there.
Maybe
as
that's what I
well,
watched.
so
I thought it was shorter than that.
That might have been an IGN one or
Yeah.
the one that IGN got a hold of.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to check that out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go home and do that now. Ronan asked if I got to use the Infinity Sword. No, I did not. I think that came out recently, and the reason I haven't is because like the new season started. I played a bunch of it, but then Smash Brothers came out. So
Yeah.
I have been playing a heck of a lot of Smash Brothers.
Me too.
And way more than I anticipated because usually,
Same, yeah.
usually my Smash Brothers routine is Smash comes out, I pay $60 for it, I play like 5 matches, instantly regret it because I suck at it, and never play it again.
But hey, you played it.
Yeah, and this time around, it's just oozing in Nintendo, and well, actually not just Nintendo, but in video game nostalgia.
Yeah.
That it's like done so, like you interestingly, I guess. I don't know how else to say it, but it's just every corner of that game is just saturated with these little nods to video game things, and I still I like fighting games. I've always liked
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
games. I still don't necessarily love Smash. Like I just the type of fighting I haven't like the way that the combat system works. I'm just not good at it, and I'm trying to take the time to learn it. And so because I want to like get it. Like I want to be able to be proficient at it. Like I feel like if I'm playing Street Fighter or Soul Calibur or Tekken, like I know enough about the movesets and the combos. Like I feel
You can
competent.
repeat them with each of the characters.
Like
and-
yeah, I feel competent. Where this, it's just such a different. It's on a different level, and I mean they do call it more of like a platform fighter.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about it too much. I do want to say, and I'm gonna let Kuipers and whoever else played it go, but I do want to say there was one thing that I felt like it was frustrating me a lot. Is every time I got like a new challenger has arrived, I would go to fight them, and they would beat me. And I would be so infuriated because I'm like, I just got to wait for this guy to come around again. And there's like, you start with 8 characters and there's 76 characters in this game. You're telling me I got 68 to unlock and I'm just going to have to wait for the next time to fight this guy. And it's like every 10 minutes you get an opportunity to do it pretty much.
There is a little menu for that. don't there?
So, well, okay, that's what I just found out today
Okay.
is
Yeah.
that you can go to that menu and go to the little door and go and
Yep.
challenge them again. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how did I not know? Like, I was like, this game is stupid. This game is mean.
Awful.
And I was just like, I'm not going to ever play this game again. Like, I literally said those words came out of my mouth last night because I don't know, some villager from Animal Crossing kicked my butt. And I was like, I'm never going to play a stupid game again. And then I found out about that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so if you're like me and you're an idiot, which I'm sure there's other idiots out there, yeah, you can go and challenge them again. But, I mean, if you fail again, though, you do kind
You
of
have
lose
to
them
wait,
for
yeah.
a while, so...
They are super hard.
What?
I unlocked
Ronan
a
said
few.
he unlocked everyone in 24 hours.
He did. It was crazy.
How is that possible?
He knew some tricks.
You spammed
Dedicate
it.
your life to a game.
One of the guys at my work stayed after hours and unlocked everything for
Jeez.
everyone.
It's insane. I'm not good enough at that game to do it. Like I get to a new, character and I just suck it up immediately. I don't understand. But
Well-
what's the deal with their cheap? This is what I want you guys to answer me, and then I'm done. I promise. What's the deal with their cheap little hit attacks that just knock you out of the ring immediately? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how to block against it. But every time, like after
Smash
Ness, they're all just like, I'm playing them. I'm getting their damage is way higher than mine. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get them.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, they hit me. I'm out of the ring. And every single freaking time, it makes me so mad. What am I doing wrong? Somebody give me a hot tip.
Are they the smash attacks?
I don't know what they are. It's the knock me out. And it looks like
It zooms in.
yeah,
and it's
their
like red.
character zooms in. And
It's probably a smash attack.
So I'm thinking, but it's not like
No,
a special or a
it's-
super
yeah.
or anything. It's like a
Yeah.
Like, that's
It's-
just
Smash
some-
attacks are like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. You can.
Well, like, 'cause it's not even the smash attack. Like, not every time. Like,
Yeah.
it's happened with regular just attacks. It's just kind of like a, hey, they like you were strong enough that they actually just got a finishing move on you, basically. Like this move had enough damage.
but their damage level was like way higher than mine. Like sometimes it's like twice as much as mine. And
Yeah.
and they're still doing that.
I'm still figuring it out myself, but it's kind of like a, hey, they just able to knock you out of the park with this move.
You just got to be better.
Get
Eric.
wrecked.
It's just super
Basically.
cheap, and like I
Yeah.
feel like there's no way to like defend against it, and it catches me off guard, and it is infuriating.
Speaking of super cheap, play the adventure mode at your own risk. The adventure mode is punishing.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm playing on normal.
It is really hard.
It is. I mean,
It's-
there's some that are just like, oh, this is fine. Then there's some where it's like four Bowsers just fighting me and just all spamming their down Bs to where they're smashing their butts on
I know.
me.
I played against 4 DDDs, and those guys were just killing me every second of the game. I'm like, I don't even know how to.
This is impossible.
Yeah, it's really that's really frustrating. The spirit mode is what it's called, right? Or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, Spirit Adventure or something like that.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool. The
It's- yeah,
art
it
style
is
of the like overworld map
Uh-huh.
and everything like that.
Oh, and they like mesh all these different games and stuff. I just got to like the Shadow Moses kind of thing from Metal Gear, so
I've enjoyed the little bit that I've played. I think that the one thing that I dislike a little bit about all of the extra characters is how many of them are just like the anime sword play characters that all seem like they're very, very, very similar, and I'm sure they're not.
the anime sword.
Like I mean, like you know, when
Fire
they add
Emblem.
like
You're
the
talking about
Fire
Fire
Emblem,
Emblem
and
characters.
it just seems like there's a large chunk of them in the game, and I find them a little bit boring just with the way that the game, I guess, originally started with all these weird characters that have no business being next to each other, and now you got like this large chunk of the character selection that is like basically these anime dudes with swords. That's like, okay, I get it. They're part of Nintendo. I understand why they're there, but they're a part that I just don't like. I feel like it takes away from some of the weirdness of having like the Splatoon kid fighting against Donkey Kong, fighting against a villager from Animal Crossing and Mario, and how different all of those games themselves interact, or like none of those characters would look right in any of each other's games. But it's one.
Donkey Kong and Mario look good in each other's games.
Well, that's because they came from the same game originally. Gosh, Kuiper.
It had to be said.
You're right. You're right. No, I was surprised though, because like I said, somebody at work had unlocked it. And that's really the only place I've had it because I haven't bought it yet. And there is a old Nintendo Duck Hunt character that is the Duck Hunt dog with the duck.
Yeah.
And it is ridiculously stupid, and I love it. For some reason, that character was a blast to play with. I got beaten up so badly, but it's so funny that you like drop these like characters that shoot at everybody else, and you throw out the clay discs at people. It was something that I hadn't seen that in any of the pre-release stuff, and when I saw that this afternoon, I was like, "Holy crap, this is hilarious!"
Yeah.
I love beating that stupid dog up. Just to mock me.
I think it's such a love letter to all things like Nintendo and to I think
Right.
Smash fans. And I mean Smash fans are always going to be like, well, I only play Melee. Like I get it, whatever. That's what you're going to do. But I feel like that this game is like you can tell that they've tried to put everything they could into it. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, other than Waluigi, of course. But I mean, just
Yeah.
like
Way to go, Nintendo.
It's so, I mean, just the way that they've, like you mentioned with the Duck Hunt dog, like every character will have these like little nods to their game, and like
Right.
it's just such a cool touch. Like it's, I don't know, it's a lot of fun.
What's
Except
the
it makes me angry.
Do you guys like playing
Kill it.
with all the different like weapons and items, or do you like playing without them?
I've done a little bit of both. I like some of the items until they get used against me, and I'm just like, this is the stupidest game ever.
It's so cheap.
Right.
I should have won that one.
I think that, I mean, if you're looking at like professional like Smash players, which is crazy to say that that's a thing, but anyways,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure, Kuipers, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they play with all the items off,
Correct.
and then they only have like a selected amount of levels that they'll play on, because their goal is pretty much to eliminate any of the randomness, so that it's just the skill.
Seems
so
weird to me.
to me, I just play it to play it. Like I don't care. Like I mean, I haven't had the items be something that is really detoured from the game, the fun for me. It's just that cheap attack that they do that knocks me off the screen that drives me nuts, and there's no explanation for it.
I was just curious because like everybody that I've played with at work, on breaks and stuff, they all play with no weapons.
Of course
and I'm
they
like,
do, because they're Smash players. That's what
Yeah,
Smash players
I think
do.
that's it. And I'm like, I love playing
Nothing
with
against
the
Smash players. I mean, they're terrible people, but nothing against Smash players. But they
I
just
think you're all terrible people for
they-
even talking about the game.
they just
It's tons of fun.
it's just one of those things where it's like there's like this purity thing where they get really hung up on.
Yeah.
and they want no
And I mean,
weapons.
really, I feel like the purity of the game is with the weapons because
I feel
Like,
like,
that's
I'd get
part of
mad
why
at the
they're there.
game on the first game in the first match.
you
and
probably would.
That's why I don't want anything to do with it.
he'd get as mad because he would lose a life or something with one of said cheap moves.
Or
the
I'll
same
do
way
well, and you guys would get mad at me.
No, it would be something random that would kill you, and you'd get upset the same way that you got upset about Mario Party.
Yeah.
probably true.
So Kuipers, is this the best Smash, or is Melee still
Mario
the
Party was
best?
pretty dumb.
I'd like the character roster in this one.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, gosh.
Could you not?
Even if you're like me and there's characters that you think are excessive and you don't like them being like, there's so many that you can just, it doesn't matter. Like there's so
And
many different
I
ones
haven't
there.
unlocked enough. I've probably unlocked like 13 of the characters so far. So it's like I don't. I guess I haven't experienced what you're talking about, because I mean, it's like I mean, there's Fire Emblem, there's Cloud from Final Fantasy, there's Zelda. I mean, he's just an anime sword guy. I guess.
True.
Or Link,
They
not
all
Zelda,
feel
Link.
very different. I
But
guess
I
that's
guess-
I'm talking about that from having played several of those characters. I haven't played Cloud, I guess, but
Yeah.
True. I don't know. I guess none of those characters really. I've never gravitated towards any of them, but Link
yeah.
anyway. So I think that's probably part of it.
But yeah, it's cool to see all of them, and they all, like, it's funny how some of them, like, their alternate costumes, like for the Squid Kid from Splatoon, it's like male female, but then other ones it's just like a different color, So
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
it's cool though that they paid attention to a lot of detail in this game,
I like that you can play in Mario's tuxedo from Mario Odyssey.
or his Crazy Legs costume, which is all American flags.
I'm
Or
excited for some of the new. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
there's even the Mario Maker like costume for him as well too.
Oh,
All
nice.
right.
Yeah, and the Mario Maker world, or level,
cool.
which was really cool. I thought.
Yeah.
And then go ahead, Trevor. Sorry.
I'm excited for some of the new characters because they brought
Piranha
on
Plant, right? That's
Joke.
the one you're really excited
Oh
about.
yeah, so excited. Yeah. No, Joker from Persona 5 is like that's just really cool because it's like never would have expected that, and they kind of talk like all these for the first pass are going to be kind of weird and not something you expect.
That's a really good segue, Trevor, as we move into talking about the Game Awards. Where
you're
they
welcome. I totally intended that.
No, it's just
He
funny
didn't.
because I was intending to bring that up to segue, and you just took it as good. You wanted to stop talking about
Thank
it.
you.
Actually, though, Kuipers, do you have anything else you want to say about Smash?
Nah,
You good?
I'm good.
You happy, though?
Yeah,
You're going to keep playing?
yeah.
How many characters do you unlock?
I've lost count.
Okay, 20.
Probably.
Are there really 70?
76
Yeah.
total.
Well, is it 76 or is it, I thought 73?
Okay, I
something
guess,
like that.
I mean,
I guess I'm
it-
counting Ice Climber.
Between 70 and 80.
and the
So that
squid,
segue.
It depends
But are
on
they-
the squid lane.
Where was it going?
But are
depends
they
on the
all
meat
there?
fighters. How many? I don't know how they count the
What do you
meat
mean? Are they
fighters.
all?
I mean,
there?
like you
Game
said, like
Awards.
Piranha Plant, like that's a DLC.
Yeah, they'll be coming later.
so
So,
that's
so
the
not
additional,
all
yeah.
so
74 there now.
that are there now.
That's what
Okay.
Ronan
And
said.
there'll be more later.
I was counting both the squid kids
And he has them all in
and
lock,
both
so
the
he
ice
knows.
climbers, so that's why I said 76. So
Mm.
I
Oh,
fudged
okay.
the numbers a little bit, but technically,
Technically,
Hey,
there's
don't forget about the
76.
don't forget about the male Wii Fit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
77. No, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the number, but it's high. It's a lot. There's a lot of characters.
there's also a male and female Pokemon trainer.
I was gonna say, is
yeah,
it Pokemon
yeah,
Trainer?
yeah, okay,
So 70.
okay.
Are we
I
at
don't know.
79?
200.
There's 400 characters.
And no Waluigi.
Just get your magnifying lens out so you can see the character select screen. He's at 76 if you count Pokemon Trainer as separate Pokemon.
Huh?
Oh, so maybe I was off.
You can play as Charizard, Bowser, or
Yeah.
Oh, right, right,
They're
right,
different
right,
characters.
right,
They're
right,
different
right.
characters. You count
So
them.
maybe he's already counting the other.
Did you say
variables.
Charizard Bowser?
did I say Bowser? I'm Bulbasaur.
Well, I mean, Bowser does kind of look like Charizard in that.
You
in
know
that
Bowser,
picture a
the
little bit.
most
start with B. They're turtles.
the most famous,
the most famous
Pokemon.
Pokemon
It
of all.
starts with B, and they're both turtles. I love it.
Bowser, the Pokemon.
Just like Bonatello. There,
Is Bono a turtle now?
no,
Donatello.
I was making a Donatello joke. Anyways, Bowser is Ronan's favorite Pokemon.
Totally.
No, but we were going to transition into the Game Awards here, where
There's
a
a lot of stuff
of
that happened.
things were announced. We'll kind of run down it, and then if you guys want to talk about anything specifically, let's talk about that once we get through this whole list. There were other things. These are kind of the ones that I picked out that I felt like were actually important. No, but the big one is the Outer Worlds, which holy crap, that looks really good. It's from the Fallout New Vegas guys, and it looks like a good Fallout game. But it's in space. Hades.
They could use a good Fallout.
I
game.
know, but it's like, yeah, not the Fallout people. Anyways, Hades is a new Supergiant game. So if you liked any of their other games, which
What other games have they done?
but Bastion, what's that weird
Transistor.
Transistor? What's
Oh,
what's
okay.
the most recent one that's weird? Like
Pyre?
Yeah, Pyre.
Higher,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yep, the fantasy basketball game. So if you're into when that's also an exclusive on the Epic Game Store right now, so that's a thing. Far Cry New Dawn, we got to see a trailer for that. We talked about that last week a little bit. We saw that was like going to be a post-apocalyptic kind of sequel to Far Cry. I know Kyle mentioned that it might be like a Blood Dragon thing. And I think it's
It
like a weird
sounds like it is.
in-betweenish thing. Because like Blood
Yeah.
Dragon was like a $20 like little short game.
Yep.
This is going to be a $40, hey, this is more game, but it's not a full game. Like it's not a full Far
It's
Cry.
not its own unique story.
But it is. I mean,
specifically,
it
but
is
kind of
because
is.
it takes place like the characters you play as were kids when the nuke went off, and now they're adultish.
Is
age,
this?
so-
I'm trying to think. Was Primal cheaper than?
no?
Okay.
Was
No,
a
it's full
full-on
game.
I couldn't remember if that one was or not because I think there were a lot of people that at least initially thought it might have
I
been.
mean,
a
I
cheaper
think this
one.
probably builds on the other map, kind of like Blood Dragon did with 3. So
Sure.
that's probably why. Also,
here's
it's,
the here's the end of the game. I'm gonna call it. They find the bunker with your main character and the other dude in it.
They already teased the other dude in the trailer, like that they showed at the Game Awards.
Just
Like,
saying.
so I'm pretty sure you were right. Anyways,
See, it makes logical sense story wise.
Hello Games has showed a new game. I guess they have time to make other games, even though they were always updating.
Need to be
No
working
Man's
on No
Sky.
Man's Sky.
Well, they're calling them minis
Yeah,
or like shorts.
yeah.
so
They
kinda-
need a way to make more money.
They said they were inspired by Pixar's short movie,
yeah.
like the short movies that or videos that would show at the
Oh,
beginning
okay.
of Pixar movies. So that's what it sounds like they're trying to accomplish with this.
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
Last Campfire is what it's called.
Yep.
Then I know I think a lot of people thought they'd see this at E3 this last year, but we did not. Mortal Kombat 11. Looks cool because it's called. I think they're calling it Worlds or something like that. So there could be some interesting things there. I don't know if that's like an online thing or what that will entail.
It'll be 79 characters.
So
But they all look the same and have swords. Don't worry about it, Kyle. You'll love it.
then they teased the new Dragon Age game slightly. From BioWare teased a little something that they didn't really show us anything, but. Like Trevor said, they announced Joker from Persona 5 for Smash coming soon as one of the DLC characters, which that seems like that fits in that world well. But yeah, they had all three of the big wigs on stage at once at the very beginning of the show, which I thought was pretty cool. It was like my little video game heart warmed and doubled in size. But it was like Phil Spencer and Reggie Fils-Aimé and
some Sony guy.
well, not some Sony guy. It's the main Sony guy he's the one that made people go from a church to a building. That's
Right, that guy.
Oh gosh, that guy.
Yeah,
The guy who directed the crowd.
I liked what's his face that had was it Jack something who was kind of the face of Sony before, but this guy he's always got kind of like he's maybe a mobster and he might break your knees for insulting The Last of Us. Like he just seems like kind of angry, but in a nice way, in a very polite way. Like he'd kiss your mom on the cheek and then he'd shoot you in the face in front of her. But that's kind of that guy. But yeah, they were all on the stage together and it was a nice little unifying moment and it was special. Anybody want to hit on anything? Anybody excited about these? Anything stand out to you?
They did announce a Nintendo exclusive with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
That's right.
So that looks like that could be pretty cool. I didn't play the first one, but the second one was cool. I really liked that one, and I mean, I think if you like Marvel characters,
Is it kind of a big deal that they got an exclusive?
maybe.
I think so. I
It's
don't
just
know.
an initial, right?
The second one didn't do as well.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those where it's like a top down. You've got your group of
It's
heroes.
like Diablo for superheroes.
Yeah.
So
You pick the
they're
one that
fun.
you're primarily running with, and then the other ones kind of supplement you as you're going through the world.
Switch is the system I would want to buy it for anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I think it's a big get for Nintendo because it's Marvel.
yeah,
I think that's really the biggest part of it. It's not necessarily that it's going to be the greatest game or anything, but
yeah. I think the first one was pretty well loved. I think the second one was less so. I don't know. I don't think it's ever really been a smash hit though. I don't know.
Smash.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah, it's I've always looked at those games as just kind of like cheesy,
Yeah.
little like
Yeah, that's what they are, but they're fun.
comic book tie-ins. So I just always kind of ignored them. But
I mean they've got the second one had some decent storyline that tied in. Whoa, what?
I'm just pulling up something over here
Oh,
because
okay.
keep going.
I mean,
how dare you?
it tied into the comics. It had like
Back to intern.
it kind of followed the Civil War storyline
Uh-huh.
in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
Huh.
So
Okay.
it was fun. I enjoyed it. I think if you enjoy Marvel and the Marvel world,
And so
You'd
the
enjoy it.
story gives
Yeah.
you a little
Oh
love.
gosh.
plus there's a ton of characters that were in like the second one. I'm sure there's a ton of characters that'll be in the third one. Probably more than Smash.
Who's publishing it?
I think it said, what was that?
I'm just wondering if they're gonna loot box the crap out of it.
Team Ninja is the developer.
Oh, really? Team Ninja?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it looks like it's a different developer than the first one and
Yeah.
second one were.
Do you like how Kyle just threw in a little jab there? I'm sure it's gonna have more characters than Smash.
It wasn't supposed to be a jab. It was supposed to be a
Sure
joke.
was.
It'll be nice.
Sure
No, I don't-
was.
No.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think that that would be insane to have that many characters.
That's all the Marvel characters.
You can play as Pepper Potts.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they had more, just because Marvel has
Yeah, that's true.
like even
X-Men
more
don't
history
count.
than Nintendo does.
Yeah.
I feel-
X-Men do
so-
count.
That
I
was
feel like
just
Beta Ray
something.
Bill is going to be the Waluigi of it, though.
Yeah.
Poor Kuipers. He's not gonna get his favorite character in either of the games.
Phil Coulson will be.
All right.
So I did pull
What's
up.
your obsession with Phil Coulson?
I know, right?
You're talking about him on the Tubcast last week. You've got a real excitement for that guy. I don't get it.
There was a
Anyways.
clip I pulled up though from the Game Awards. That was probably also one of the ones I'm kind of surprised nobody had mentioned it yet.
We probably blocked it out of our memory, but go for it.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get everything set up here.
Oh, he's not. He's just going with it.
yeah,
Like,
we're doing this.
Yeah, let's watch
this
it.
is a huge takeover by Kuipers right now.
He's just making us watch this. Oh, why is this? Why do we care, Kuipers?
Oh come on, you know
it's
you
God
liked
of
it.
War and his
Yeah.
boy. No, this is great. Yay! That was a special moment. Where
I
the
didn't actually
voice-
see that, so that's really
yeah,
cool.
The voice actors of God of War were there, and he told the boy to do a thing, and then they said, "Ninja is
Oh,
the
gosh.
most coolest," and then he later said, "Drake made gaming cool, you guys."
Well, obviously.
So-
Gross.
Yay for that.
And Ninja was in YouTube Rewind, even though he's not really a YouTube guy.
He puts his archives on YouTube, Trevor.
He puts
so-
his crap on YouTube later after he's streamed it.
yeah.
I mean, he is pretty talented.
No, I'm not saying his stuff is crap. I'm just saying it's an afterthought.
He's
is
a
more
very
likely.
good gamer when it comes to the
And-
Fortnite.
and
No,
he's-
I mean,
and he's got a personality.
nobody
and
that
people
gets
like
that
him.
nobody gets that popular and stays that popular for that long for no reason.
Yeah.
Update: there's only 18 playable characters so far announced for
Really?
Marvel's Ultimate
That's
Alliance.
awful.
That's because
So far,
That's
yeah, everything
I
else
hope
is a
so.
secret.
Yeah. So there's a lot of announcements there. I think it's cool to see. I feel like last year kind of solidified the Game Awards as a little bit more of a legit sort. Like they started giving the awards to good games. They started like having cool announcements and like I mean No Man's Sky was a few years ago, but still like I feel like in the last couple of years they've started to legitimize it as a respectable event where it wasn't just like this weird like having like the voice talent from these games come up and give out the awards instead of just random Hollywood actors. I mean, they still have that peppered throughout, but it's
That's
not
nice.
just
It
like
gives them a little love.
yeah. I think it's really cool that they're taking it seriously, and I don't
Right.
know. Award shows
Yeah.
are all just like awkward circle jerks. But
Really?
I think that it's cool though that if they're gonna do it, that they're actually taking their time to make it something
Yeah.
that's
well,
quality.
and I will say too. I mean, I've said in this. There's multiple things going towards this, but I think we're kind of in a golden age for gaming, where, I mean, there's certainly some bad actors in here, but I think a lot of the people like I think you wouldn't see something like the major heads of the game industry.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that. I don't think you'd see that anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's kind of. Gaming is kind of in a magic moment right now, and it's
Yeah.
nice.
It won't
So-
last, but it's
It
good
won't.
for now.
NPR still
But-
thinks that it's killing the children.
NPR is
killing the
NPR is NPR is NPR.
I mean, if the NPR gets anything, it's not video games.
That's true. Yeah.
guys, I think that Kuipers messed up. Someone said they didn't hear anything from the Game Awards.
Yeah, I thought I flipped the switch, but I
Go
think
look
you
it
guys
up
were
later.
too
Guess what?
distracting.
That's what made it funny.
So good. It was so. All right, everybody.
Sorry, live.
We don't have
folks.
any voicemails or emails, but if you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to theloop@minuteatub.com, and we will respond to you on air by reading your message and talking about it. Or you can leave us a voicemail at 475-TUB-CALL. That's 475-TUB-CALL. And we will play your voicemail on air within reason. But before we go, we cannot forget to thank our lovely, endearing Patreon peeps. These are all the lovely individuals who stick it through it with us. Stick through it stick
With
with
their
us.
money.
Stick it.
Oh.
No, all these lovely people that you see here, God of Atheists and Jay Oliver, donate at the co-producer level or higher. That means that they give $10 or more every single month to help support our ambitions and dreams. You too could be an awesome person If you go to patreon.com/MinuteHub, you can give $1, you can give $5, you can give whatever you can, and we would greatly appreciate it. Okay.
We would.
I hope if you watch this every week and you aren't a patron, you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Get these services for free.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Patronize us.
Freeloader.
Anyways, no, but anything helps. I know sometimes you might be like, $1? I mean, that ain't gonna matter. You do not understand how loyal we would be to you for $1.
That's a whole $12 a
I mean,
year.
It's just, it really. What, Kuipers? You okay?
I'm okay.
What's happening over there?
You all right?
Yeah.
I feel like he's taken this whole producer.
Yeah, he's just smashing things.
Hint to a.
Whew, it scared me.
First, he wants to play his own video that he
Yeah.
can't even get right because he screws up the
Deal.
sound, and now he's throwing things.
Can we demote him back to
Power
intern?
hungry.
Yeah, he's been demoted twice.
Narn says heyo. And we say heyo back. Thanks for joining us here at the last moments of this show. But
Bye.
the show
Tell you what, though, you can watch it.
on youtube.com/MinuteHub.
Yeah.
The
Or in
show
the archives,
the
it's
show
quick.
is fleeting, but we'll be back tomorrow. So don't worry, don't cry yourself to sleep tonight. We'll be back at 9
Tubcast.
p.m. tomorrow night with the Tubcast. It's it's our talk show where we talk about stuff. So you want to come back. Grumpy is gone. Who's Grumpy? Who's Grumpy?
I don't know.
Is he here? Are you talking about Nathan? Nathan isn't here right now.
That's tomorrow night.
Grumpy
Yeah.
will be here tomorrow
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Is that who Grumpy
I don't
is?
know, but that's the only person who's not on
Nathan
screen right
Grumpy?
now who's
That's
usually
true.
on screen.
That's true.
So I'm just going to consider it's Nathan. And yes, Grumpy will be here tomorrow. If you want to come back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time and see Grumpy, he'll be here. Did
He
I
will.
plug that show well?
I think you did.
Go to patreon.com/MinuteHub and subscribe to get more Grumpy.
Oh, Gumby.
Oh, Gumpy. Oh, yeah.
He's hiding.
Yeah,
He'll be
Gumpy.
back tomorrow.
There he is.